Okay, today I'm just going to play. I've been doing so many projects. I just want to play today, and I went through the house and found some junk to try and print with. So basically, today is printing with junk. I'm going to shut the video. I'm going to shut the audio off so that I can turn my air conditioner off and I don't die. But I'll show you everything as I print with it and what it does. And that's all this is. I'm playing today with stuff I found. I found a teddy bear, a couple of gloves, rubber gloves, tools, this shiny material that I forgot what I bought it for, but I have that left. Some, I think these are wrenches, spoons, forks, the bottom of a wax, one of those melt wax containers that the scented wax that you melt. This is a hippo. I know, it's just weird stuff. Rubber gloves, a K-cup, gardening gloves that I don't use anymore, paint stick, and I've got these Wilton cake tools, cake decorating tools that I used to use when I did clay. I don't use them anymore, so I figure I'll try them. And I've got a clothespin. So we'll see what we can do with all this junk. So I'm going to shut the audio off. I'm not going to play any music. It's just going to be quiet and peaceful. Okay, let me unplug the audio. Okay, at some point the audio is going to come back after it cooled down out there and I can turn the air conditioning on. But basically I'm going to speed these up a little so you can watch what I'm doing. Everything is self-explanatory. If you have any questions later, just put them underneath the video. Any comments, I'll answer anything that you put down there, as long as it's not rude. And please just enjoy the video. It's in segments, so it will seem like it stops at time and it goes on. When you hit the photographs, then you know you're at the end of the video. Thank you very much. Just hope you enjoy it. I'm doing some testing today with just objects that I found in the house to see what kind of images they'd give me. I've got the air shut off, so if the sound goes off at any time, that's just because I shut it off so I could put the air back on, because it's Texas and it's hot out here. But right now I've got the air off so I can speak. I'm putting a light layer of yellow on this, on the plate first. And I'll show you the found objects I got. I used to do clay, well, I used to do pottery, but I also used to do silver clay, and I used to make jewelry with it. And I have a lot of these cake tools that people that do, they do Sculpey and that, they'll use these. These are the Wilton cake ones. The Sculpey has their own, but I like these better. And I brought them out here to see if they worked. And they do some amazing things. This is the conical one with the lines. I mean, they do some nice marking in the paint. And the round one, I just discovered, makes perfect little dots. Now if you wipe it off in between, it makes better dots. All you gotta do is give it a twist. And I'm checking out to see what they will do. See, if you wipe it off and it's clean, it makes them much better. And you push it down a little bit, it's not going to hurt your clay because it's a round little ball. I mean your clay, it's not going to hurt your plate. This one, the teeth are too sharp on that end, but this end doesn't have teeth, it's just a... So I tried that, and it draws an incredibly good line. Even better if you clean it in between. And it's got the little dot one, of course. Does the same thing as the big one, different size. There. And it's got all these little to make lines. They work just as well as that wheel. I like the way the wheel, I don't know, it just seemed to flow better when I used the wheel. But there's all different things you can do with these. And this one on this end, I was just rolling it around making interesting marks. The other thing I found, well, more than one thing, the K-cups. I'm sure somebody has used them before, but I haven't, and especially if you clean them off in between, they make wonderful little donuts. And I will print this up. Want it to dry a little, put another color over it and see what we get. Into the yellows and oranges today. We'll put a light coat of orange and see if we can pull most of this out. It's so hot out here today that the paint is drying, and I don't want to put any of the acrylic or tartar in it, this stuff, because then it'll take too long for print. That stuff works really well, but sometimes then you're sitting there waiting for it to. So if I can quickly pull this up, just a light coat on it. Hopefully the light coat was enough to get it wet enough to pull up. Let's see if I don't dawdle. Maybe I can get it to come up nicely. Alright, give it a good rub. A lot of friction, a lot of heat to get it to adhere together. And this is my, as you know, my hand cream jar that I use. I'm going to have to get a new one eventually. I use my hand, and your hands will warm it up. It'll help dry it quicker. Down here it's really wet, so it's probably not going to pull real well down there, but I want to do this one so I can show you another one. It's pulling okay, but right where I told you where it was wet, it's sticking a little. Probably should have done a better contrast than this. Look at those nice marks. Can you see that? Try and get most of it up there in the camera. Really lovely marks it makes. I'm going to keep this Wilton cake decorating thing out here now, since I don't make cakes with it. And it does some, I mean, the dots are my favorite, but it does some nice lines, and this is where I rolled that thing along the edge. It makes a nice little scalloped edge. Here's another one I pulled earlier with that and a few other things. I'll show you the other things. I think I need more contrast, though. The bane of my existence. Let's try. Well, shoot, let's go for black and white. Start with the white, though. And it may come out a little orangey because I'm going to put it right on top of this stuff. I'm not worried about that. Alright, now let's hurry up and put marks in it. Now this is from, you get those little scented candle, the things you melt. This is the little box it comes in. And I've discovered that the bottom of that box makes nice little squares. Push down on each one trying to get it, because this stuff is drying as fast as we're speaking. And the K-cup. Now I'm finding if I clean them in between, I get a better print, but it's a pain in the butt. And I've even used the back of a spoon to make strange marks. If you just press it down, it makes almost like a pear shape. They do want to pick up the paint, the plastic stuff does. I tried using rubber gloves, and I thought I would get a nice print out of it, but I got nothing. I'm using these little, I got a little wrench set here to see what this does. I'm going to try cleaning it in between. Oh yeah. It actually looks quite nice. Do the other end down here. Oh yeah. Makes nice little marks. Huh. It's like little hands grabbing. And I have some, these are, I guess they're bolts or screws, because they don't have like the Phillips for that head on them. Like nice little circles. Oh, those are really nice. These are going to stay on the table too. They make little tiny donuts. And it really pulls up the paint. Let's see, did I bring it? Well, I brought out a teddy bear. Everybody's doing their little teddy bears. Mine did not come out at all. I was disappointed. Ruined a teddy bear for nothing. Not that I like teddy bears, but I'll show you the rubber glove. I'll just do an edge of it down here. Pulled it up okay, but it didn't look like a hand or anything. And I was happy with the clothespin. You can do it on the end and make little rectangles, or make those little teeth marks using the side. I think that's about all I can do with this one. I don't really want to use black, but let's use dark blue. Poured out too much and use it for two things. I don't want that much on here. We have to wait for it to dry if we put too much on. Oh, it's so dry already, I can feel it. I don't know if this is going to pull it all. Oh my god, I can feel it pulling on the roller, it's so dry. This is a terrible day to be printing. Like I said, I can print, I can put that stuff in it, but that makes everything take so much longer, and I'm not good at predicting how much is going to do what. Okay, get that side down, get the wrinkle out of the middle. And we'll get it rubbed down really good. Hopefully it's not too dark that you can't see stuff underneath. I might cut this part out. Still right wet. I think I will cut it out and then come back when it's a little dry. Okay, it's not totally dry, but it looks like most of it's coming up fine. We'll see if we can see those marks that we made. And I brought a bunch of found objects. I'll probably do a couple more videos and put them all together. Oh, yes. Now I'm just going to try and come down here and see if I can. I'm not very good with this camera, as you already know. But can you see the K-cup right here? I mean, that's lovely. This is that little bolt. I don't know what they are. It's like a screw, but the end of it has got like a hex thing in it. That's this right here. And this is this thing here. Worked perfectly. I'm going to go look for some more metal things. I have a toolbox out here that I haven't opened in forever. And this here, as you can see, those squares are beautiful. So I have found some objects to use. And I probably will do another video with a few more objects because I've got some stuff out here. But that Wilton cake thing is wonderful if you can find one. I've seen them at garage sales and thrift stores all the time. You probably don't have to go out and buy a new one. But as you can see, they make some lovely marks. Let's see what you can do with these. Especially happy about that K-cup. I mean, it's the one that I got here is Guatemalan coffee. When I got it, I loved it, and then suddenly, you know, it burns my stomach. It's so this is the last one that was sitting in the little thing next to my Keurig forever. But those were a hit. Okay, I'm going to do one more with the found objects. The Wilton cake decorating set. I think that's a wrench. Clothespin. My K-cup. Another Wilton cake decorating thing. And the bottom of my wax melts box. I'm going to try doing some bright colors. Just using this to mask off an area because I want it to almost look flag-like, you know, with the stripes of color. So I'm going to mask them off as I go. Start with the bottom of my K-cup. doing it twice because I want to get a little bit more paint off, and I don't mind if it looks, you know, fuzzy and not crisp as long as I get more paint off it. And every time I do it, I get a little more paint off it. Right, that's better. Now, I think I'm going to go down the edge with this rounded tool. I'm kind of going for like a flag design. I did one similar earlier, but I used orange, and when I got done, the orange, I did the red, blue, and orange, and the orange actually looks more like the red than the red does, so I'm doing it again. And I'll probably just put this in my journal. Yeah, let's do the middle too. Give a little bit more dimension to the design. Okay, that's all I want for that layer. Let that dry. And I want the next layer. Flip some of that red. The next layer in blue. Just a little. I'm going to be very careful not to push that down to take any of my red up. Gently lift that up. It's taking a little bit of the red, but not a lot. Let's use the bottom of the box. What if we use the bottom of the box, if it did anything? Oh yeah, that's nice. We'll do it that way. Okay, and this next part I think we'll just fade yellow to green. Won't be too worried about. It's going to be a mishmash because everything is still on this sprayer. Not liking that too much, but it's okay. We'll do the edges with this. And I'm just rolling this cone. It's a cone with teeth down the side. Back and forth. It does a weird thing, but I kind of like it. I have to clean it in between though. Keep it doing what it's doing. Looks like a picket fence almost. Keep cleaning it, it looks a little better. Well, that doesn't show up great yet, but it will. In the print, it'll show up nice. Now, let me do something to this one. So we'll have something to pull up over there too. Well, that makes nice lines too. Okay, I'll let that dry. I'm going to come back, put white over the top of it, or actually what I'm going to use instead of plain white is I have this transparent mixing white. It's white, but it's like if you put mixed white with mixed medium is what it looks like. So it doesn't, you don't get as much of the stark white as your colors come through better. And that's what I'm going to put over the top of these when they're ready. And then I will come back at the end and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got them covered in the transparent white. I have rubbed them. They're not thoroughly dry. You can still feel they're cool to the touch. One way you can tell if you can't tell the cool to the touch is if you have paper on the back of your, feel that and then feel the front. I can feel a big difference. And if I were to leave this and go inside and get some work done and then come back outside out here to the studio, it'd be thoroughly dry. But I'm not worried about that because I'm not worried about it all getting pulled up. I just want kind of an effect, so I'm going to start pulling it up. First I'm going to unattach the sides just at the edge, not going crazy here, just making sure. And if it's sticking to the edge, push down on the rubber of the plate. See, use your finger and pull the plate down so it's not sticking. You pull this up, you can see where it's sticking. Just pull the plate down away from the, see, I'm just pushing the edge, pushing the plate away from the paper, and that kind of unsticks it in most places. But keep in mind this one's still a little damp, so it's going to stick worse than normal. Alright, so I've got it unstuck this end pretty good. I'm going to hold my hand there, gently pull. Now I'm going to hold the plate down and pull it up. I wasn't sure how that yellow was going to come out because it was, oops, now where you start to stick, too bad, push the plate away from the paper, pull it with your fingers, gush it down, and that'll help unstick it. And if it's too bad, try going the other way, which is what I'm going to do. There's a little piece in the middle that's wanting to stick, and that is because I didn't wait long enough, but I've got a bunch I want to get done and it's getting late, and I've designed a few things that I want to put it in my, let's see, that blue is sticking worse than anything else lately. Usually it's the white that gets me. That's why I started using that transparent white. I'm getting down to that other place where it's sticking badly. There's not much you can do about that. Yeah, see, this place right here is where it's sticking so bad. And I can just dab some blue paint in there if I really want to cover that. Okay, and there's what I was talking about. Kind of like a flag look I wanted. It's for one of the pages of my journal. But as you can see, those objects make wonderful marks. I like these wrenches, although it's very obvious what it is. I kind of like it when it isn't obvious what it is a bit better than. And let's see what we pull up on the scrap plate. The edges, I'm not going to worry too much, but I'm pushing it away. Separating those edges first, always. Well, it took me a long time to learn to do that. I had one plate that I had worked on for quite, probably about a couple hours, and wanted it to come out really well, and that's when I learned that if I went slower and I got the edges where they weren't attached, and I had let it dry, that the whole thing will come out. But As usual, this one is not 100% dry, but... And the whole thing wasn't really covered with paint, just parts of it. This is just where I rolled out my colors. Oh, that is quite pretty though. And that's very usable for a... Probably going to use these on the ATC cards that I'm making. Artist trading cards. But, and that is that for tonight. I'm going to do the photographs of all the ones that I've done with these objects here. And I will put them at the end of this video. So if you like it, please hit the like. That does help me a lot. I'm trying hard to build this channel. I love doing this, but it's kind of hard because it takes forever to get people to like it. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I will be making more even if you don't, but please subscribe so I can feel like it's a good reason to make more. And thank you very much for viewing this. It's just a pleasure to have people watch you work. I just love doing this. Thank you very much, and you have a nice day.